do I really have to get up at 5 a.m. and like drink lemon water and like put garlic up there and like do 100 pull-ups before like 5:27 a.m. and then take testosterone supplements and then take like athletic greens and then Huel? Is that like that's what social media says I should do all before 6 a.m. Look, people, it's your boy Tej. Let's talk about morning routines. I tend to have quite a flexible morning routine in the sense that I aim to wake up before 6 a.m, before 6:30 a.m. at the latest. In summer, I'd say it's definitely earlier. In winter, when it's dark, when it's cold, let me be honest, it's pushing towards that 6:30, even sometimes 7, right? It's a struggle. It is. Like, it really is. Without the light, without the warmth, your body just does not want to get out of bed. And it takes a lot of motivation combined with discipline in order to make that happen. But I'll admit it, yeah? Like, I'm not, like, straight out into an ice bath and then, like, no. I mean, it's like in bed feels like an ice bath at that time in this country. But, one thing I definitely, for me, how my mind works is getting up early. One, it kind of feels like an achievement already. When, like, these army guys say, make the bed, because that's your first task of the day, done, clear, success. For me, actually getting up early feels like that. And secondly, I am more of a morning person. I'm quite active, quite bubbly, quite warm in the morning, not physically warm, but I'm quite ready to go. Whereas in the evening, not so much, right? Especially when it's when it's good weather, which is like 4 days a year. And so for me, I know that suits me better. Now, if you are someone who prefers to work in the evening and you get more done then and it works with your schedule, your family, your friends, your networking, whatever it is, then get up later. There's nothing to say you shouldn't get up at 9, 10, whatever. If you are more productive later, why would you get up earlier just because the internet says you should? Okay, there might be some research that getting up earlier reduces your cortisol levels. Okay. But if you're more productive later, your levels will be reduced overall anyway because you're not as stressed about not being productive earlier, right? So do whatever suits you. But I do think if you are a morning person, getting up early, and actually this leads me to my next point, getting up early, almost before 9 a.m, before like, your clients, your mentees, your staff, whoever are kind of in work usually, being up before then it just feels different. It's way quieter. Usually, unless you work with people out of your time zone, there's no emails, no Slack messages, nothing. There's just almost an air of peace. And as soon as it hits 9, the kind of atmosphere changes. And for me, where I struggle with distractions and staying focused, having that pre-9 a.m. like deep work session focus kind of on whatever really important tasks that need deep work, whether it's creative, whether it's admin, finance, whatever, that for me is like an edge, because I start the day with multiple tasks or a big task done, and it's almost like, whew, when 9 a.m. comes, I can chill. It's not, I have to do it, no. That usually happens for me on rest days. So probably once or twice a week, I get that pre-9 a.m. focus. Most other days, I wake up, get hydrated, super important, water, you can put whatever you want in it, all this nonsense, you don't need to just drink water, right? Then I'm in the gym. From, early morning. I probably get back by 9 on a good day, maybe a bit later, maybe 10ish on some days. And that for me is another big thing in the morning routine, is that movement. Like, movement is medicine, honestly. And it's important for your business. If you're not moving, if you're not healthy, doesn't matter how many books you read, how many steps, processes, mechanicals you have in your business, right? It doesn't matter. Like, the biggest investment is you. You are going to make the business work, you and your staff. And how they behave is based on how you behave and your culture and how you are. So how can you be an elite performer in business but not be an elite performer otherwise? It just doesn't add up in my sense. And you feel better, you look better, there's just no negative to exercise, right? Please speak to your GP before starting an exercise routine, but there is literally, none. People I like to follow are Athlenex, I like to follow BioLane, Lane Norton, what's the other guy? Jeff Nippard's pretty good as well. And whoever else kind of talks common sense. Mike Israel's pretty cool as well, shame about his last name, but his stuff's pretty cool as well. And for me, once that exercise is done, again, it's like you've ticked off another task, another activity. So you're almost building up these wins before your day has even started, before you're even getting into it. you're building up these different levels and different types of wins. Now, for your body and for dopamine and for, some gratification, because as entrepreneurs, we always delay it. It does something. It does something to your chemistry, does something to how you feel. You just go into the day knowing that, well, whatever happens, I've looked after myself, potentially done some deep work. You're in that right frame of mind to go ahead and just kick ass for the rest of that day. What I also like to do is meditation. So the Headspace app, just a 2 or 3 minute meditation. I have done more before. It kind of varies. I think it probably varies with seasons or moods or how busy I am. But, I try and get at least 2 to 3 minutes in. On a rest day, it'll probably be longer. Headspace also have like cool little videos, which aren't meditation, but they're just sort of, insightful things. I also like to read the Daily Stoic, which is on that shelf behind me. It takes 2 or 3 minutes, but it just gives you wisdom from the incredible ancient Stoics. If you don't know about them, get to know. Check out some of my videos. Check out Ryan Holiday, incredible author. And that again puts you in the right mindset. A lot of them make you zoom out and sort of look at your life differently, look at the bigger picture. It's philosophy from however many years and decades ago, but unfortunately, says something about us as humans, still super relevant today. And it's massively helpful in business and how you think about interactions and people and processes. It's just, I absolutely love it. And then, for me, I actually tend to eat around midday. So I intermittent fast almost naturally. Don't tend to feel too hungry early in the morning. I stop eating dinner ideally by 7, 8 at the latest, which kind of gives me a very, very easy 12 windows of fasting. That's pretty easy to do. And obviously I don't have to get up, get a train, whatever, go to work. So it's a bit different. I can kind of, afford to eat later. So I probably end up eating 14, 16 hours, like after I've last eaten. And it helps my stomach a lot. I have IBS, so it tends to just kind of keep it calm, give it an extra chance to, do whatever it needs to kind of do. I wouldn't say that's a necessity. There's obviously lots of research supporting it. There's some research against it. But for me, it just works. And also when I'm cutting, i.e. trying to lose weight, it reduces my eating window. So therefore it does reduce the calories, which is kind of the point of intermittent fasting. I've not really had any negatives from it. At the start, you are going to feel hungry. You might get gassy. You might have heartburn. But to be fair, for me, it just absolutely works. And that's kind of the key of this video and this podcast, is to say that you have to find out what works for you, but there is a balance of not being a lazy shit, right? And not making excuses, but also listening to your body and listening to your mind. Now, I know there are certain days where I'm in bed and I look at my Fitbit, I've slept the requisite 7.5, 8 hours, like, get up. But my body just says to me, don't do it. Don't do it, Luke. And most of the time I actually ignore it and just say, oh, piss off. I've had the number. Number's the number. I'm out of it. And then later in the day, I feel it. I always feel it. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, I've done the number, but just get an extra 15, 20 minutes. And it helps. And so there is a real difficult balance of the discipline, the motivation, the listening to yourself, the not being lazy and always trying to push as well. And this is a difficult cycle, And this is why having a mentor can kind of work really well for some people, because it kicks you up the arse. It's a third person saying, okay, you've done that 4 times in a row. Is that really necessary? Or, you seem to be getting sleepy around 3 p.m. every day. And then you're saying your workload is not as much as it should be. Have you tried sleeping for half an hour more? Have you tried sleeping for less if you're getting too much sleep? And this is where that third party accountability really helps your routine, right? And tailoring it for you, but also with someone who doesn't take, any prisoners, who has no feeling of, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it for you. No, they're to kick your ass, right? And so, to summarize, that is my morning routine. It's pretty simple. If I miss Daily Stoic on a day or I miss a meditation, I honestly don't feel any kind of type of way about it. So you might say, oh, it's too relaxed. But it's what works for me. And another thing, and this isn't a morning routine, but it's routine, taking breaks every 45 minutes of good work, every hour, getting up off your chair. I've got a really ergonomic chair. But still, getting up from it, walking around, make sure you're drinking enough water. All these basic things matter massively. What's up here cannot work if what's down here is not working. It needs what it needs to function. Don't think that you're smarter than it, although it is you and you are it. So where the hell do we go from there? Maybe we should Ask the Stoics this. But I'd love to know your morning routine. I'd love to know if it's similar to mine or different to mine. So leave a comment below. Tell me your morning routine. Maybe you'll inspire me to add something to mine. I've tried different things. I will say though that I don't have any athletic greens. I don't have any Huel. It's all whole foods, apart from vegan protein shake from Awesome Protein. I've got a podcast with the founder actually. Go check it out on my channel. So people, that's my morning routine. If you liked it, or if you didn't like it, hit the bell icon, leave a review on Spotify, and I'll see you in the next video.